Yeah, I need help finding my son. His bus driver let him off the wrong bus. The bus driver let my baby off the bus at the wrong stop, and I don't know where he at in the school, act like they crazy or something.
It's time to tell it like it is.
He at in the school, act like they crazy or something. They had one of my children at the school and one on the bus. And then I don't know where my baby's 7 years old, and I can't find him. He out here lost by himself, and I know he's scared, bro. I know he's scared. I'm scared for him. Like, my baby.
You know, if we had the type of unity and community that we we wouldn't be as worried. You live in a predominantly black neighborhood, and we didn't have all the violence and drugs and this destructive failed ass culture that we have right now, and the vast majority of our people up to no good and so on and so forth. Go ahead and hate me for telling the truth. Oh, it's not that bad. It's continue to allow them to pull the wool over your eyes. Continue to be failed and prove yourself just as conditioned and brainwashed as the rest of them who think that it's not far worse than what we believe it to be. It is far worse than most of our people think it is for our black people in this country. If we had the community and unity that we should have, we would not be as concerned. It would not be as much of a bother. We live in this very destructive country where the majority of our black people are so violence prone. Of course we have reason to be concerned. I remember when my son was going to, it was before and after care. He hadn't started school yet. Before and after care, he was just a little baby. And I was at work and got a call from his mother saying that they let him go to the wrong parent. I cannot describe in words the pain that I immediately felt rush through my body. Immediately rushed through I literally felt it internally. Maybe it's just those parents who actually care about their kids who can relate to this. I felt such pain the same way she described in this video. Being scared for him, these crazy thoughts running through my head. Because first of all, somebody was allowed to leave. They made a mistake and somebody was allowed to leave with my son. You know what your children look like. So you intentionally left with my child. Not only was I angered beyond belief, but at the same time, I know my son has to be so scared. I can only imagine what my son might be going through. I was shook to my goddaggone core. It still bothers me to this day just thinking about he's a teenager now. He's in high school. He's about to be an adult out on his own. But it still bothers me just thinking back on that. If we had the unity and community that we should have, that would save us so much pain and hurt and concern and worry. Why are we not understanding how much easier things will be if we just finally wake the hell up, black people, and get our shit together? Now, just so everybody is aware, just so you are aware, I looked into this. And the young man was found. The little boy was found. Everything's fine and good. Thank goodness. We need to take our unity and community. We need to take our children's lives, far more serious. As you could probably tell, this was previously recorded. One thing I need to quickly add, I feel like I need to add just to avoid a bunch of potential questions in the comment section and everything as it relates to this situation I just shared. I did not really fulfill the whole entire situation and story with my own son. It was actually two different kids that go to the same establishment that my son was going to that had the same name. And that's how it got mixed up. So they thought that my son had already left. The kid by the same name actually did already leave, but it wasn't my son. They thought it was my son, and it wasn't. And that's how that whole situation played out. My son was still there. He was safe and everything. He probably doesn't even remember this because he's so young, and I don't think I've ever had a conversation with him about that. Maybe his mom his mom didn't have a conversation with him about it either. But that's how that situation actually ended. But as I mentioned in this video, my God, I can remember how, wow, I was at work when I got this call, and it just, wow. This fear, this pain, and turn immediately, because my first thought was about my son. I can only imagine what someone like that would be doing or could be doing to my son. You have to understand, you have to immediately think about the fact that if someone has access to the place, first of all, they have a lot of safety measures in place. You have to scan in, you have to, go through a process where you're not even allowed past the second doors without logging in correctly and putting in the correct information. So my immediate thought was that this means all this was planned. Somebody did this intentionally. What your child looks like. If you get in there and the child that's leaving with you, if that's your child or not. So a whole lot of thoughts were so quickly and going through my mind, and just it was a lot at one time. That was some of the worst pain I've felt in my entire life. Our children should be the most important things to us. They should be the most important things in our lives. I know there's a lot of content out here that I've seen over the years, recently that I've seen, where you got a panel of people arguing back and forth. And actually, I've seen quite a few panels where they all are agreeing that our children are just liabilities. Our children are not important as the parents are. Our children come last. I shit you not. I'm not making this shit up. It may be one. I'm certain that I got that video saved somewhere. It may be one of the literal more than 1,000 videos that I've recorded and never posted. But that was one that I probably should have done, because I've seen, and I put them all together. There's quite a few panels of people having that conversation. And it just shocked me. It disturbed me that they think that our children are not that important. Perhaps that's another thing that's significantly failing our black people. We don't think enough of the life that we create. I do have tons of videos of our black women leaving the kids home alone all the damn time. I have 1,000 of those videos. So maybe there's some truth to that. Maybe there's a reason why so many podcasts, so many panels of people I see going back and forth talking about how unimportant, our children are. We should be protecting our children. They are the future of us. They should be most important. Most important. I'm not understanding why we don't understand it. Why every single grown human being in this world is not understanding that. That suggests to me significant failure. If you would think your children are just a liability, your children are last, they are least important, that is massive failure on the part of a parent. You protect your children. You risk your life for your children. My children eat before I do. That was one of the things that came up in one of the many conversations I've heard these people having, and they're talking about how the parents eat first. Well, first the father, if he is holding things down in the household like he should, because they see these type of things in these TV shows and stuff. They made fun of it on Everybody Hates Chris and stuff like that. So they see these type of things and they run with that shit. Just because our parents used to say a lot of things and live by certain things and all, that does not mean it's right. I've never ever once been sitting here in my house and eating, and my children not eating. No, my children eat first. When I was going through divorce and things were extremely tight, my son ate before I did. I didn't even expect or want to get this daggone amped up about this. I just wanted to add a little bit more information, but this is how I am whenever Harvey Rants is doing Harvey Rants. But I just wanted to add that extra little bit of information and just end the video off like that. Fortunately, in my situation and this situation with this woman that I shared, everything turned out fine. We need to understand how important it is to capitalize on unity and community. If we had our own communities, if we had all the unity that we deserve, that we should have as black people, we would not be as much concerned when our children get mixed up on a bus or things like this happen. We know the people in our community can be trusted. We have that connection, community, unity, trust, respect, love. We got all of that. All of that. So we wouldn't be as much concerned. Imagine how amazing a community that would be if we actually had all of that. Why don't we all want that? Why aren't we all striving for that?